Welcome, everybody. How are you doing? We are on the back end of a wonderful 3 points. Come on, you Spurs. Welcome to the show. This is obviously the Spurs Talk Show. I'm Sean Butler, joined right now by my co-host from the day, Aaron. I want to say a massive shout out to you, mate. You've been absolutely spectacular.
Cheers,
really
mate.
appreciate you come on. Looking forward to being part of the post-match fan show for as long as we have you. We've also got Adrian in the house. How are you, Adrian?
I'm fine, thank you. Naturally, we're all buzzing. We should be top of the league, aren't we?
We are top of the league for at least the next 2 hours. We'll find out how it looks at about 6 o'clock tonight. Before we get any further, guys, just want to say, the rules of the game. The link is in the description. Oh, sorry, the link is pegged into the top of the comment section. If you want to come on, you're more than welcome to get your thoughts off your chest. Depending on how many people want to come on, we can keep it a panel, or if there's lots, then we'll have to kind of rotate and roll. But we're going to be here for at least an hour, maybe longer, depending on what we talk about, to go through the game, to go through the thoughts and everything else. And obviously, we are going to keep an eye on the 3 o'clock kickoffs as well. But the rules are simple. You're going to come on, have your camera on, and we'll ask you for some other favors as well. Like, please smash the like button on the video like you always do. Smash the subscribe on the channel if you haven't already. We have got the subscriber mode only on. And the only reason I do that is because I'm a subscriber whore, and I like to make sure that everyone that participates is a subscriber. So all you got to do is, if you haven't already, is hit the subscribe button, and then immediately you can access the chat to participate with everybody else and get the conversation flowing. Let me start with Aaron. I'll start with you, mate, because you've been with me the whole afternoon. Generally speaking, bro, I mean, we're going to go through every player and all that stuff in a second. Just overall take on the game. Do you think we deserved it in the end? Do you think how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling happy because normally Spurs, we'd have one big win and then we'd lose. One big win and then we'd lose. So I'm very happy. Kept the ball playing. Even when we was under pressure, we were still playing ball. For me, man of the match, I think I'm going to give it to Pedro Porro. I think he was amazing at the back. He was celebrating every defense, every tackle he was celebrating. Close, obviously, Madison actually officially got it. And Mickey van der Ven also amazing as well. But yeah,
he's saying that they already given the man a match, have they?
Yeah, Madison got it.
Well, I'm gonna put a poll out there now. I'll ask you boys, give me 4 players. As we say, Madison. Any other advances on Porro, van der Ven? Anybody else? Romero? Was there somebody else that either?
Doggy was quality.
Doggy, okay.
Yeah, Matters, a doggy, Basuma, and actually, I'll go 3. I'm going
to put Porro, Van der Ven, Udogie, and Madison. How about that? Let's see where we go.
I'll put all 10 players.
Porro was outstanding, but yeah, all of them really, apart from a couple errors, early nerves, but we cleaned it afterwards.
Wonderful. I mean, look. The game was, a little bit, I wouldn't say a game of 2 halves, but it was a game of like maybe 4 quarters, Adrian. To me, I felt like we started the game, like they had the first sort of 10 minutes. Then I think we kind of dominated and bossed a little bit. But then towards the end, once we got that goal, I don't know, we sort of sat off a little bit, allowed Bournemouth to come back in. They finished the first half stronger, and certainly they started the second half much stronger. There was some clear direction from Andoni to Raiola, I'm trying to think of his last name there, to get more central, to get more narrow. They got the boy Semenya and he absolutely bossed it. I felt like Bissouma had a bit of a difficult time today against some really strong midfielders. Adrian, what was your overall take on the game, buddy? Adrian, you there?
I still thought Bissouma was good. What I thought was particularly... Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can hear you, mate.
Yeah, good. You're good. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, cool.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and you that 4 quarters is a good analogy because I thought that the way we played added an insight into why Ange made the substitutions at the time he did. We still pushed forward on the front foot, but it also showed that he's not just totally gung ho. That he thought, okay, we've got this game in the bag here. All we've got to do is control it and play it out, which is what we did. And and I thought that he showed that in his substitution. It wasn't like, although we kept moving and kept going forward the way he wants to play, we didn't sort of slacken. But at the same time, like you said, we weren't 100 mile an hour. You know, we were measured. We were very measured. It was like it became a more sort of patient and workmanlike performance second half.
Yeah, 100%. Look, we'll get through. We'll start with the first half though. Dan, welcome to the show, mate.
Hey again. I was in one show, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you were here for the Man United. Oh no, sorry, the Brentford game. The Brentford game.
Yeah, but normally I'm out on the telly, and it's hard to do phone plus TV. But sorry, what were we going to ask me? Sorry.
Yeah. So what was your initial thoughts? Were you? I mean, how did you think?
The first half, yeah. First half. Yeah, first half thoughts were basically we were trying to do the possession game. Bournemouth Bournemouth were obviously trying to counter that. A couple nervous moments at the back there, but overall I think we were composed after the 20-minute mark or thereabouts, and then we got a goal, and it just started to go up from there. I think everyone played 10 out of 10 in my opinion. So that's really all I could add for the first half. I can't fault anyone. So that's really all I could add for the first half.
Okay. Bobby, welcome back to the show, mate. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, everybody. Fantastic, man. It's 9:30 in the morning, Sean. This is the way I like to start my day, baby. This is the way I like to start my day.
Did you get up super early to watch it?
Oh, of course, man. Me and little Kay at 6:45 in the morning. We were downstairs, have to get our morning cup of tea. And of course, I knew about 10 minutes into the game, he'd tell me he was hungry. So I was ready this time for him, Sean. I had his food ready before kickoff. There you go. Eat. Now shut up and leave me alone. Come back in about 96 minutes, please.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
listen, let me ask you about the kind of the first half. There's a player that I think we should talk about first before we get into anyone else. Richarlison. I mean, I think this one's going to divide opinions. I think everyone who watches my show knows how I feel generally about him as a player, about him as a player. I'm going to say this, though. I thought in the first half, I didn't think he was bad at all. I don't blame him for missing that chance. I thought he was unlucky more times than he was. I think it just didn't fall for him. I think when you're playing on confidence and confidence is driving you, sometimes, that kind of, you've got the juju around you where it never quite drops your way. Second half, though, when he stepped on the ball and he fell over, that was it.
And got booked for it as well. Yeah. He got booked for that touch, didn't he? Unbelievable.
Yeah. He obviously stuffed up. He knew it, and he tried to make up for it with a pointless tackle. But I agree with you, Sean. I think he did okay for the first half, and then second half, he obviously the lack of confidence just kicked in, and he started to feel a bit, pressure there. But honestly, I mean, as Ange said in the presser, he's not expecting him to go make 30 goals like Kane. He's trying to get him to work into his game, and I think he'll grow eventually. So just need time, I think.
I think first half he came. I think first half he came out looking hungry. First off, good morning, gents. Aaron, Adrian, Dan, Johnny. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, everybody in the chat. Happy days today. I think in the first half he looked hungry. Like you said, Sean, he was trying to get himself into the right spaces and stuff like that. I said this last week after the United game. I wonder if our forwards are being used almost as a decoy system where they're supposed to just push the whole defensive line back to create that gap for the midfielders to come and fill in, which almost seems to be working for us. But we can't have all three of them acting as decoys. One's going to have to start scoring goals soon. I think he was decent in the first half. Like you said, his positioning was okay. He made the attempt to get into gaps. He just wasn't finding the space. It's not working for him right now. But second half, he looked desperate, frustrated, was making silly decisions. That kick out, had he just put a little bit more ferocity, we'll use your big word, Sean, into it, then I think that you're looking at a red card for him. It was just a stupid, unnecessary challenge. I'm glad that Ange noticed that his body language and everything had changed, that his frustration level had gone up, and it was time for a switch. And what a difference that switch was. I just personally, I would have preferred Solomon come in even on the left versus Perisic. I don't want to see, even though Perisic came on, did well, Sonny going into the middle helped, but I just I want to see a younger player start developing instead of us putting on Perisic, who's 36, 37 years old now. We have the opportunity to push these young players up, which Ange seems to like to do. Then let's start giving them the chances. But, guys, undefeated so far in the season, top of the league for at least another, 81 minutes. So happy days. Let's sit back and enjoy the ride. We're up here, man.
Yeah, but are we guilty? Listen, if anyone can, by the way, anyone in the comments that has access to for listening to what Madison's talking about, obviously we can't hear it. I'm seeing them talking. If and when you get the tidbits from Ange as well, I'd love to hear what the general take was. For me, though, look, I'm going to sit here and say, like, both games, Brentford, I think that we deserved the win, didn't get it. Against Manchester United, we deserved the win and we got it, but on a different day, it could have gone a different way. Today, I think that, Aaron, I'll start with you on this one, mate. I feel like it was a completely different vibe. I don't really feel like we played the same sort of football, especially in the first 45. I felt like it was a little bit different. I can't really put my finger on it, but I felt like the rain, maybe it was the weather, the wetness on the ball. I felt like we were kind of rushing things a little bit. It wasn't that methodical, slow, patient build-up where we carved a team apart. We were kind of going back to like a sort of more speedier progression of the ball, and it felt a little bit different, Aaron. I mean, what was your take on it?
Yeah, same. I see what you mean. It was kind of because I think against Man United, we're the underdog, as you want to say, because obviously it's Man United, but in this one, we're meant to take the game to Bournemouth, and we did. But I think the rain played its part. It helped us because we were pinging the ball about, but it was more one touch than ever before. It was like not many people taking many touches. If you noticed, it was one touch, bam, one touch, bam. It was a bit like that. We started a bit. We started a bit slow, and then, like you said, like in 4 quarters, and then we started dominating the game. Then Brighton had their chance, so it was like Brighton for 10 minutes, then Spurs up to 35, then it was Bournemouth again. Sorry, not Brighton, Bournemouth. And then it was the same again for the second half. But we took a lot longer in the second half to get going. They had a few chances, but they didn't have anything clear-cut, like one-on-one with the goalkeeper. There was none of that. So, but that's going to happen, innit? Because we're so high up the pitch. Yeah. Højbjerg done well. As soon as Højbjerg came on, he stiffened everything up, which is good. But then he might be going. So who do you bring on to do that job when he's gone? Because Skip ain't going to do what Højbjerg does. Do it.
Yeah.
But Højbjerg doesn't match the Ange way, but it is if you're trying to not hold on, but,
I personally think when Højbjerg came on, he was the first player. I'll be entirely honest. I thought that Philip Billing was the best midfielder on the pitch today. I thought he was head and shoulders above everybody else. He was getting forward, he was getting back, he was winning things. I felt like a lot of the tougher players on the Tottenham pitch didn't really want to mix it up with him too much. I think he's a very tough, aggressive player, very tall, very big, very strong, a little bit intimidating for some of them. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I don't know. I thought that Bissouma had I know he was the essential for the goal that opened us up, or the Madison goal. He got it through to Sarr. But apart from that, I'm not sure Bissouma had as great a game, or was certainly as influential as he was in the previous games. Adrian, what would you say about that, mate? Do you agree, or am I completely wrong?
Yeah, I agree, and I think that played a part in the fact that we brought Højbjerg on. I thought Ange saw that and counteracted it quite well. I mean, that's what I thought he did. So that's in midfield. So we weren't as strong as we normally look. All right, Kate, hello, Kate. We weren't as strong as we normally looked in midfield, but I mean, the first goal was a lovely work goal, wasn't it? And the second, what I like about you, Dogie, he can make things happen. That second goal was really out of nothing. That was his determination and effort that got us that goal. And for me, I would give him man of the match just for that. But that's me, you know what I mean? Because I just thought he was tenacious, wasn't he? And he really got down and he kept the ball in, pulled it back. And it still didn't look like we were going to score, but there was Kula on the back post, Kate. That was Kula to bang one in, So, well played.
It was good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, that 1-2 was magic, man. That was magic.
Yeah, that was.
That was like, it was like Bournemouth was kind of like waiting for a cross, and then all of a sudden 1-2 bang. Like, I mean, that was from what I saw on the telly, but it was great, yeah. And then we just worked our way into the back half more often than not. So, Yeah,
And the
because
good
that was
side,
what I
and the
thought.
real good side-
But is that
Oh,
not
sorry,
what we're
Dan.
going to need this season? Sorry, is that not what we're going to need though, Dan? You know, like you said, the goals that come out of nothing. We need those unexpected goals.
Yeah,
not the
well,
ones
because
that
we don't have
clearly
Kane.
expected from
You're
Kane,
right. Yep.
So they
We
got to
need
come
to.
from different areas. We need those lucky
Yeah,
bounces.
and
If that's
that's
what it takes. I'll take them all day long. All day long.
yeah. And
Thank
as an
you.
Aussie, following Ange's tenure under international level and any Australian A-League clubs, he likes to play attacking football, possession, obviously attacking possession football, and it doesn't. He's not expecting. He said in the presser, he's not expecting Richarlison to get 30 goals like Kane. What he does is he works hard off the ball, and that's what he likes. And not to get too carried away, but goals will come from the unexpected areas for sure.
Mhm. I'm also
Speaking
happy
of-
that.
go
Sorry.
on.
Go on. I was going to say, I'm glad that Basuma's form dipped in games like this, where it's not so important, you know, because if it
Yeah,
dips
exactly.
against Man City, we're taking a hiding, you know. But I'd rather him
Oh yeah,
foot off the pedal against the lesser teams. Like right now, he could take a break, you know what I mean? But yeah,
maybe he hates rain.
Yeah, but,
Maybe he hates the rain.
But Aaron,
But
just
number
to add to
24.
that, sorry, Aaron, if he takes his foot off the gas, then we need the guys that come in as subs to put their foot on the gas and show they deserve some game time. I don't think Lo Celso did himself any favors today. Skip,
No.
missed 2 clear passes and getting on the ball. It just looked like he was kind of lost for a few minutes in terms of it. He needs time to settle
Gio's
into the game.
positioning
These
was.
guys got to be ready
Sorry,
to go.
yeah.
Come on. Sorry, go ahead. Dan.
Yeah, I was sorry to interrupt. I was just going to add to that. Gio's positioning was all over the place. At one point, he was right wing, he was center, he was back, he was in the middle where Son's supposed to be. He's just like a headless chicken, sorry to say. And I was just not sure that's what Andy
But
would
to
want.
be fair, when you switch the entire midfield, there's going to be a little bit. You know, we're going to lose that cohesion. And
Yeah, it was
everything a little bit,
more
right?
of a composure, I guess.
Let me welcome in Kate and Martin, guys. There's 7 people in the panel at the moment. It's getting a little bit crowded, so if more people want,
I'm sorry, I'm going to jump off because I've got to go to a family meal anyway. So
okay,
I
mate.
was going to say thank you for having me on. And
No, mate, absolutely.
Good job with the watch along, Aaron.
cheers,
Aaron,
speaking.
Take care, buddy.
what's your
just follow me on Twitter. Just follow me on Twitter. That's my Twitter name there.
Challer. Nice one.
See it there?
Yeah,
follow me on
X
Twitter.
Challer on
All right,
Twitter.
everyone.
Absolutely.
Right, cheers, everyone.
Thank you
Cheers,
so
everyone.
much.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mate.
Take
Cool.
care, Aaron.
See you, mate. All right, we're gonna keep it a healthy 6, so that it's everyone can get some airtime. If more people want to join, then we'll rotate and go through it. Let me welcome Kate.
Yeah,
in.
I'm happy to dip if you need. It's all good. I'm just here for you guys.
No, I appreciate that. Dan, say there, mate. We're all good for the time being. We're gonna get to Kate and Martin now. Kate, how are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. What were your thoughts on the game, and who did you think stood out, and for what reason?
I'm good, thank you. Always good to see you, Shawnee. I thought the game was immense. I'm buzzing. I just am absolutely buzzing. I forgot what this feeling is like to watch this beautiful football. That first goal was just magnificent. I thought Maddison was immense. He was born to play for Spurs. He just fits so perfectly into our system. I thought Van de Ven as well he's just a revelation. I said I thought he would be like Jan, and that's exactly what he is. And him and Romero today, I thought was superb. I just thought the whole game was just magnificent. Honestly, I'm buzzing.
I completely agree. I think Mickey Van de Ven is a revelation. I was sitting there thinking when we signed him, I was like, I think we've overpaid. We're punching here, and the pressure on this guy. Well, I was like the guy's had one good season.
No, that's good, Sean. You're being honest, man. Good for
yeah,
you.
I just think that you're paying 45 million quid, 45 whatever it is for a player that's had one good season. He looks good on paper, but he's not the real deal. He's not the finished article. You're paying a lot of money, and you're almost pricing in perfection. But since he's come in, let's be honest, right? The last 2 games, 2 clean sheets against Manchester United and Bournemouth. Like the two goals we conceded against Brentford, by the way. One of them was an own goal, which wouldn't have happened. It was just a bit of bad luck. And the other one was a penalty that you could make the argument shouldn't have happened. So exactly. I think top at the back look incredible. Martin, I'll come to you, mate. Welcome to this. Is this your first time on, Martin?
Yeah, first time on, mate. Hello to everyone.
Hey, mate.
Hello, Martin.
Hey,
Yeah.
pick up, buddy. Welcome. Thanks for coming on, my man. You sound like you're Australian. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Essex and I live in Spain, so you're way wrong.
Oh, okay. Couldn't be any further from the
Well, I
truth.
guess I'll be the only Aussie for
The road
now.
traffic ain't suited you well there, mate.
Now, what were your thoughts on the game, mate? I mean, let's start with the back. Let's start. We were talking about the defense. Have we got ourselves a real deal defense here? 2 clean sheets on the bounce.
For me to sit there and watch it this afternoon was just like, when they're going forward, you're not worried for a change. You just sit there and there's like I don't want to be overconfident, but there is an air of confidence there that we're sitting there and you feel a bit safe. And it's an unusual feeling, to be fair. It's been a while, but yeah, you got to enjoy it. I think, as I say, Van der Ven, he's just going to get better and better. He's new, but he's fitting in so well. And like him and Romero, they're doing well. Romero seems to have calmed down and just doing the things right. I don't know. It's just and Udogie, wow, this kid. They say if you're good enough, you're old enough. He's 20 years old or whatever he is, and wow, there's a lot to come from him.
Did any of you guys who were hearing the commentary in real time find out what was the injury?
No.
No,
I don't know. I wasn't.
They
They weren't talking about it on Optus.
I really
The way it looked on the telly was he just kicked the ball back on his own and he went down holding his head in his face. So someone said it might have been something thrown at him, but they've never shown it. So that's a good possibility that it is that, because they wouldn't want to show that, would they?
Well,
It could have been precautionary.
I find the whole
the
thing
commentators on our television said he was running fine, or moving fine after. So
yeah, 24Z. It was definitely something to his eye.
If it was a thrown object, if it was a thrown object, I don't think it would have been taken off. I think he's pulled something. Sadly, I think he's pulled something, because you'd take the coin on the head and you'd carry on playing, wouldn't you? So I think he
had double vision.
Something gone. Yeah, I think he pulled something. I say it to say it. I don't want to say it.
If you lose your contact, I don't know. If you lose your contact, you just put another contact in. Something's gone wrong there. If it is his, if it's something in his vision, then that's concerning. Because, why would that happen out of nowhere? And he fell over like he was shot. So.
Yeah, it was very worrying. Yeah.
I thought it meant he was crying, like he was in agony, I
could see his stomach muscles moving really hard, like he was out of breath or something. Like it was a bit scary to watch. I don't know. I wish we knew, but it's a guessing game, really.
He walked off the pitch and he looked all right. I don't think it's anything serious. I'm jumping on the positive train and saying that he just. Maybe it's precautionary.
Could be a quick moment of vertigo or something. Who knows, right? Like you see people
maybe he hates the rain too.
Right? There's that crystallization thing, right? So it affects your vision, it affects your balance, everything. So, and it happens instantly. So he's a young boy. Let's just hope that he's all right, and he's been doing well. So he's, but you're talking about Mickey Van der Ven, man. What, like you said, Sean, I give the guy even more credit just because. How many days of training did he have before he was thrown into his first match? 2?
Yeah,
2, I think, or 3. 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2, 3 max, right? I think he was here 3 days, so I'm going to assume he only got 2 days training in before he was thrown in. And wow, I'm very, very impressed with this young man. Gets his timing down and learns to use that big frame to jump up for a header, and I think we got something really special back there finally with him, Romero.
Let's have.
Sorry to interrupt again. Real quick, I'll finish real quick. Last game he was more like staying on the man and not put a foot in. Today he was a bit more tackly compared to last game, and that's good because he didn't stuff up, obviously. And I think he's a magic signing.
So let's start the review, guys. Right, let's obviously just quickly have a look through the statistics on the game. I'll just bang through these real quick because I'd rather talk about the individuals. Expected goals 1.87, so we're about where we should be, just slightly overperforming. Expected assists, I mean, that tells you the quality of the chances that we were creating that weren't necessarily put away.
So many.
57% versus 43, third game in a row. 2 of them away from home where we dominate possession. It's something you love to see. 17 shots. It's reminiscent of like a pre-season. something you absolutely love to see. 6 on target, 7 off target, 4 block shots. We dominate in every single field across there. Corner kicks, 6 versus 2. Offside, interesting. A game with Richarlison in.
With Richie on.
And we didn't go offside.
It was not a lot of red, though. Not a lot of red.
Yellow cards, 1 versus 3. Free kick, 16-11. Throwing, all that stuff doesn't really matter to me. Big chances, 3. Big chances missed, 1. That's obviously the Richarlison one. Counter-attacking shots.
That's the Richie one or that Perisic one at the end there where he just missed?
No, the big chance that big chance was allocated in the first half. So
okay. The ball was behind his feet. I don't know. It's coming in from behind him, kind of thing. He lost it in his feet. I don't see how that's.
I don't blame him. I personally don't blame him for that.
I would consider Perisic is more of a big chance than his person, but that's me.
I think this is an interesting stat. Dribbles, not something we're usually very successful at. 71% dribble success rate is pretty impressive, I find. 11 interception, 26 clearances. I mean, look, our defense today need a round of applause. And I think we've already given it, but absolutely sensational stuff at the back.
I'll give him another one. I'm willing to give him another one, Sean.
Absolutely. Well done, mate. Well done. Appreciate that.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let me start. I want to get your. Oh, someone's saying something.
No, I just wanted to give a big shout out again for Vicario. I thought he looked more commanding there, looks even more confident. He punched one out, he come out. Everything he did was good. Even his distribution was good. Couple of straight passes, I think. But no, he looks the real deal to me.
Yep. Unrelated, but
Adrian, we came into this season, everybody was already slating him and saying he's not going to perform. We already got to upgrade him. We should have got Ray, this, that, and everything. And he shut everybody up.
Ange wants him as a sweeper keeper. And I think he also has to make those saves as well. So he's more like a fifth defender when he's off the ball or when out of possession. I think he's amazing, but not to overrate him. I think he's a keeper that you guys have sorely missed.
It's interesting.
We got a lot of pace in that back line now too. That actually is getting back. That's made a massive difference. Udogie coming in, Mickey coming in, and then Porro as well over there. That's a lot of speed in there now.
It's interesting though that we went long 15 times, which traditionally is a vibe that annoys Ange Postecoglou. He doesn't want to see the goalkeeper smashing the ball long. And when we did, we were only right with it 6 out of 15. So 9 times we went long and we lost the ball in aerial combats, probably because of Philip Billing. And
I think he was looking for someone to get the ball. I mean, one of us, obviously. I think he was more playing an aggressive ball, long ball. But no one got it usually after half the time.
I wouldn't have noticed that stat if I pointed it out, Sean, to be honest with you.
What's that, mate? Sorry, Adrian.
I wouldn't have noticed that stat on the long ball kicking. So perhaps I've maybe just slightly overhyped Vicario. I still thought was good. I wouldn't have noticed that stat.
Long balls don't necessarily mean that he's punched it, he smashed it in the air 50 yards. A long ball, I think, is over 30 meters, right? So if he's
isn't it over the halfway line or something? Usually?
No, it's 30 meters, which is which would usually be that far. But
Fulham
are 1-0 up. Hang on, Fulham are 1-0 up. Unbelievable stuff.
Bummer.
What bummer is it? Who are they playing?
Mate, look, I'm thinking if we're to stay ahead. I mean, I haven't looked at the table since.
They're beating Arsenal, bro. It's the best thing. It's the best news we got.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what a bummer.
I'll take it. Even if it's temporary, I'll take it, eh? I think
the first minute of the game.
That's insane.
We're talking about.
Jeez Louise.
Let me bring Kate back in for a second, and then we'll kind of Bobby, then Martin. I want to pick a player that you'd like to talk about, and then we'll bring up the numbers for them. Kate, what player would you like to wax lyrical about?
I think I'll talk about Romero because I've been quite critical of him.
Okay, talk to me.
Well, I thought I have to say since he's become vice captain, I think his whole game's changed. I think they say that the responsibility can make the man. And I do think that's what's happened with Romero. He was calm. I mean, he hasn't had a yellow card this season so far, which is an absolute miracle.
Look at that, though. You're spot on
He was
about-
always-
you're spot on about the cards. 6 clearances, 3 interceptions, 5 tackles, 5 from 5 ground duels. Nobody beat him in a ground duel, and nobody beat him in the air. He only lost the ball once from giving the ball away. 97%. That's almost the perfect performance from him.
Exactly. And I think before the game, everyone was saying the one player they were kind of a little bit concerned about was Dominic Solanke, and he kept him in his pocket, really. He didn't give him any space. I thought he was powerful. He led completely from the back. Him and Van de Ven together look really, really good, like they're going to have a good partnership. So he'd done some good headers away. I just thought he was magnificent today. And as someone that's been critical of him in the past for being a bit of a psycho and a bit rash, to see him bring his game down. And do you know what? Months ago or weeks ago when we was linked with Van de Ven, I said in one of my streams, I think Van de Ven will calm Romero down. And I got slated saying, well, he's a lot younger than Romero. How's he going to calm him down? But I think the fact that Romero knows now that he's got someone next to him he can trust, who's good enough, it's calmed his game down. And I really think those two could be a formidable partnership in the future because they already look great.
Anybody got a different take on okay, I think you summed it up perfectly there, mate. And is that Chris in the background? Hello, Chris, how you doing?
Hold on, let me unplug that set. I can't hear you. He saw who I was on with, and he's like, right away on the other side of the screen. He's like, "Hi, Sean."
It's
like,
game day! What's happening, Chris?
Go on here. Come say hi quickly.
Hi guys.
Give your 2 seconds.
Hiya.
And give your player rating.
Yeah, Chris, tell us what you
player
thought of the game, mate. Tell us what you thought of the game.
We played good attacking football. Near the end, though, in the second half, when we were 1 goal up, just before we got the second one, we were a little bit shaky. But other than that, we were pretty good.
Who was your favorite player?
Man of the match?
Man of the match.
What song did you keep singing? Which song did you sing the most today?
Van de Ven.
Good choice.
So there's only 11 to pick one.
Okay, I'll give it to Van de Ven.
I thought it was spectacular, but Kate's just made a really good point, and we're going to have to compare right now because Romero basically had the flawless game. He didn't lose anything. He gave the ball away. He literally 37 passes. One of them didn't find its recipient, but everything else he took part in terms of defensive duties, he smashed. 5 out of 5 defensive ground duels, 5 out of 5, 2 out of 2 aerials, 6 clearances, 3 interceptions, 5 tackles. We're going to have to find. I mean, Van de Ven, I thought probably did have the edge. But we're going to find out right now, at least statistically. Fight. Let's have a look. We're dealing with here.
Okay. Well, we had high expectations for Romero. We didn't really have that really high expectations for Van de Ven. So
Good point.
That's
Good point. Well made.
3 out of 3 ground duels for Mickey. 85 touches, most touches on the park. 94%. The more you touch it, the more likely you are to give it away. Long balls weren't spectacular. According to the stats, Romero has the edge. However, I think in terms of moments, I think in terms of getting back and doing the moments of magic, I think Mickey Van de Ven stood out a little bit more.
I agree.
Do you agree, mate? You agree, do you, Chris?
I agree.
Well done, mate. Well done, buddy.
Good job.
2-0 Forest.
To add to Kate.
2-0 Forest. Oh my God. What's going on?
That is wild.
It's happening
Fulham are
again.
up. Arsenal are down. United.
How did we only beat them 2-0?
Oh my gosh.
All our Christmases are coming at once. So add to
These underdogs are coming in, man.
Come on, Fulham.
Martin, let me ask you, mate. In terms of the back line, did you have anything that negative to say? Do you agree with the sentiment generally that the back line was pretty spectacular? So I thought the back line was perfect. Destiny, Pedro, everyone.
I'm going to stay on.
I'm not going to put anyone down today, mate. I'm going to enjoy the ride. But no, my shout would be on Pedro Porro. He's come under some criticism. You know, when he can't defend. And I was one of them. But I think the last 2 games, you have to say he's sound. You know, whether that's with the others in midfield helping him and You know, it's the team game. But, you know, he's getting up top. He's getting back. He's running down the side. He plays with a smile on his face. He even got in the box and had shots in that. So, you know, he's your right back. So you can't really knock them. Yeah, they all had a good go there today. I'm not going to bash them just yet. When we lose, might change our tune. But at the minute, I'm going to stick on the good side.
100%.
I mean, he had that, like when he got the ball off the defender and went out for a corner, he pumped himself at one moment where he touched his chest like, yeah, like I'm ready, you know? And that's a Porro we want, you know? Like,
enjoying it.
mate,
He's enjoying it.
Yeah, more of that. It's awesome.
Guys, can I just quickly press pause? There's 700 people in the house. It's amazing. There's been up to 800, 900 people in here at some point. Obviously, I think I need to ask you for some favors on that regard. The ratios of the likes are not where they should be. We should always have about 50% likes. I don't know what we're on. I can't see, but I know it can be a lot more. There's 700 people here right now. If 400 of you just hit the like button, it's free to do. Doesn't cost you a thing. It's free content. Just smash the like. It really helps the channel out. So got to get the likes up to around 350, 400, whatever we're on. Also, of course, if you do want to participate in the conversation, then hit the subscribe button. The conversation is then open to you. And everybody is in the house right now, has got their channels or their Twitter on their screen. At Adrian _Stroker is on Twitter. You've got Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs is Kate's channel. You've got the Three Spurs Boys is Bobby's channel. Dan, I don't think has a channel or a Twitter.
No, I'm just a fan. Just a fan.
Just a fan. And Martin, do you have something are you on Twitter or YouTube?
No Twitter. I'm just a follower. I'm one of your fanatics.
I love it, mate. I love it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Sean, I just checked for you quickly. 251 likes. So clearly, folks, this is very disappointing. After the start we've had to the day, it's 10 a.m. over here. My day has started beautifully. Don't ruin it for my buddy up in the top corner there. Hit the like. It's free. That's an Indian guy telling you something is free. You don't hear that normally. You never hear that. So take advantage, folks. Take advantage.
I can't believe Nottingham Forest are 2 away at Manchester United. Manchester United are relegation fodder at the moment. This is insane. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's carry on the conversation, though, whilst we've still got you all. So Pedro Porro, look, Martin makes a great point. I think everybody is in the mud on Pedro Porro. I said it against Manchester United after the game. I was with Barry in the stadium. I said, everybody's in the mud because everybody said Porro can't defend. Myself, I was even going one step further than everybody else. Everybody else was saying he's not a right back, he's a right winger. And I was saying, I'm not even sure he's a right winger for this system. I think that he's a square peg for a round hole, a great player, but I just think we bought him for a different model, and now we've got to shake hands with that.
Yeah.
The last 2 games, he's absolutely mudded me and everybody else, defended like an absolute beaver.
You better invest in his really, Sean.
I expected the same on the other
100%.
side, though, Sean, to be honest with you. I didn't think Destiny is going to do the job defensively either. Because they're both technically wing backs, right? And then expectations are lower on their defensive capabilities. Yet they've proven me wrong 2 games in a row now, 3. Even the first game they did well, right? So, Porro didn't play, but
I reckon that's Ange mentoring off on training, training. Obviously, he knows he likes to go, into 1-to-1 and whatever to help improve players. So it's obviously paid off.
Yeah. And it's showing. That's for sure. I personally was even screaming for Porro because Kulu at some points, it looks disappointing. We have higher expectations.
He got a goal though, so it's early days.
But before that, there wasn't much he was offering. I'm not going to.
No, he's still the same.
I'm not going to keep too much praise on the guy for it. But I would have liked to see Porro push up right and Royal come in behind him, kind of just as a defensive cover, but.
You know what? Perfect transition, mate. And then we got to talk about the elephant in the room. And today the elephant is Dejan Kulusevski. First half, I thought he was awful. I got to be honest. I thought he was absolutely rubbish. He got his goal in the second half, but he got into the right position to finish off a brilliant move that was started down the left-hand side with Udogie and who was the person? Was it Sonny? Who was it was
1-2 with Son and then across to Kulu.
Sensational work from those two, mainly from Udogie. And look, Kulu got his goal, which bumps up his numbers. But look, you're making the point there, Bobby. Pedro Porro playing on the right. Still no minutes for Solomon. Kulusevski comes on, and to me, he starts the game, and to me, Oh, here we go. I think that he's so predictable. I think he's necessary defensively. I think he does a lot of good work defensively. I think that's such a statement that you can't underestimate how important it is in this sort of system. But just don't think he's doing enough creatively. I don't think he offers like variation in his play. It's the same thing every time. Bobby, I'll let you go. And
it's either go out wide. Sorry to interrupt. It's either go out wide or cut back. I mean, that's too predictable. And so that's all I'll say about that. But yeah.
Bobby, you brought the topic up, mate. So I'll let you run with it. Do you think that Porro's a better player in the right wing spot than Decky, or do you think that it should be Solomon getting some minutes in there instead of Decky? Are you okay with Decky?
Even when we saw Porro kind of at the end of the season last year, we saw he would make that cross from kind of just behind the defenders, the attackers, and put the ball in front of them. You don't see that with Kulu because, like Dan just kind of alluded to, he stops, hits the brakes, and it's Benny, and cuts back, and then you know kind of what to expect out of him right now. He's not throwing the ball into the box right away because he seems to want to always bring the ball over to his left foot, which slows him down. So that's why I think it's his pace hurts him, and then that one move that he continuously keeps doing, he's been figured out. And where he was positionally for the goal today, okay, I'll give him credit. You were just in the right spot at the right time. Maybe 100%. Richie could have even put that in. So that's why I don't want to heap too much praise on him, because I don't think it was a goal that he made. That goal was made on the back of Udogi's effort, and he kind of was just there to tap it in and direct it the right way, which credit for that. But there wasn't anything further that he offered. I just don't think he has the pace to play the way Ange wants to when you have that break and that gap between our defenders, midfielders, and then that push up all the way up, that final third kind of thing where we want to just send numbers. By the time he's getting up there, they've got their numbers back.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So that's where I see that kind of deficit.
His strength is definitely an asset, but his pace is definitely a little bit of a liability.
I'd like to see him go as a 9, if anything, to be a super sub for Madison. I think
I don't mind seeing that either. And listen, we got Ben in the house. I've got to do a super chat. We've also got Richard, who's also going to come in. So, Dan, do you mind, mate?
No worries. No worries. Just thanks for having me, and up the Spurs.
Thanks, buddy. I'll see you on the next one.
Good to meet you, Dad.
See you guys. Take it easy.
Have a good day, buddy.
Adrian, I'm gonna before I bring in Ben, I'm gonna ask you, Adrian, for your take on it. Before I get to that, I'm also gonna bring Richard in, and then I'm gonna right now I'm gonna do the super chat first, because it's a very generous one from Nate Piet, who says 20 to the Bugsy ear fund. Man, these vets are killing me softly. Really appreciate it. Very nice of you. Can we get we are doing it again? We're doing it again, mate. We are doing it again. We are rocking tonight. Loved it. Game week 2 results. The game week 2 result. This is Nate. This is Nate from Nate. You're the man who is putting together those emails for me, aren't you, Nate? I really appreciate it. So Nate is putting together my for the fantasy league. He does this automated email that kind of summarizes what's going on. Nate, you're an absolute legend, my man. Thank you so much, for the donation. Bugsy will very much appreciate it. Certainly, my bank account will, because it's killing me having to sort of every 2 minutes. Mate, you're an absolute legend, and I will do the. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do it today, mate, but I'm gonna do a live stream tomorrow, and I'll absolutely go through the game 2 week results, buddy. Thank you so much. So I really appreciate you, legend from Sydney, Oz Spurs. I'm also going to bring in Richard as well. Bobby, sorry, mate, you got to say something?
Just one thing. There's a comment here near the end there by Adrian Parker saying, is anyone really complaining after 7 points? You boys are crazy. I'm not complaining, Adrian. If you've never seen me before, if anything, I'm one of the more happy clappers and deluded fans that's out here. So I'm consistently praising people where they don't deserve praise. I just think that we can offer more. We can, I'm not bashing the guy saying he's shit. We should sell him. We should get off the field. Blah blah blah. I'm trying to find an alternate, and I think an alternate would be for him to come off the bench in a number 9 role. Give Madison a break. Let's see how he plays down the middle, because he seems to be more of a creative player, and it seems like our wings need that blast of pace so that we're pushing the ball out and getting up there quick. And I just think for the way Ange's system is, either we make Kulu faster, which at this point I don't think is humanly possible. So then what else can we do with them? Let's find a way to work the players we have a little bit better. And that's the only reason I suggest it. By all means, I'm not trying to disrespect the player or bring him down for what he has done or what he is bringing, but I think he can bring more. That's pretty much where I'm at with it.
100%. Welcome to the show, Ben, and also Rich as well. Adrian, mate, I wanted to get your take. I haven't heard from you for a little while, buddy. Kulusevski for you, is he a player that you're getting frustrated with? What's your kind of vibe with Kulu right now? Is it time to see someone else get some minutes in that spot?
Possibly. It's what Ange sees in him. I mean, I am a big fan because my eye test on players is players that can move the ball quickly, have got vision, can make things happen. He's very strong defensively. He's good winning the ball back, and he's an excellent passer. But it just isn't quite happening for him at the moment. But I'm sure it will come, and I'm sure he's in there because he's a strong player up there on the right. He's not the quickest, but being a winger's not all about lightning pace. Plenty of fast wingers trip over the ball. They've got very poor ball control, the faster players. And he's always looking to pick out a pass, So I am a big fan. I've got to admit, he hasn't been at his best, But the beauty of where we are now is we've got 7 points for 3 games. And we haven't really clicked in all departments. The forward line is yet to click, and we're top of the league, And
staying top of the league by all accounts, if the results are how they finished, unless Brentford go on and well, you know what? I'll wait. It's still early in the game. Ben, welcome to the show, mate. How you doing, mate? How are you feeling? I'm going to ask you for 20-second summary of the overall game, and then we're going to continue the conversation into specific players. So I want to ask you about Sonny. A lot of people in the comments are positioning Sonny as the man of the match. I thought he had a brilliant. I thought he was very good today. I'll be honest with you. I thought he was the best performance of him for a long time. I think there was 2 or 3 players that were better than him in their own various roles, but notwithstanding, I think he was very good. But first and foremost, what are your thoughts on the game? How pumped are you? How excited are you? What's developing here? And then also give me your take on Sonny. And then I'm going to pivot across to Kate before I bring in Richard.
Bar Richarlison, everyone was excellent. Bar Richarlison. Richarlison was shocking today. But in terms of Sonny, he was brilliant today. I want to see Sonny. I want to see Sonny as that number 9. He held the ball up. He drove into areas, getting players to make space for the 2 wingers. And I'm really happy with that performance. We looked defensively excellent, brilliant on the ball, quick, fast passing, which is what I want to see. And there are no complaints, except for Richarlison, who was awful. Yeah.
Okay. You thought he was awful in the first half as well?
I thought Richarlison was awful all game. He looks. We need a proper striker. We need someone with pace to be playing in that number 9 role because he just does not have it. He doesn't have it. You could say he was unlucky that he didn't get that goal. Maybe it could have been a penalty because his arm stopped the ball, which stopped the momentum of the move. But I think we can do better. But love Van der Ven. He's excellent. He's absolutely brilliant.
He really is, isn't he? He looks really, really composed.
It shows getting another defender in that can defend properly and that can pass the ball properly. Suddenly we look brilliant defensively. Romero looks like he's great as the bigger brother, and shepherding a back line of 3 younger players in Udogie and Van der Ven, and also we're all, again, to repeat, we're all in the mud, Shawnee. We're all in the mud.
About Porro.
Again, was excellent.
Absolutely. I thought he was brilliant. I haven't actually looked and seen what the how did we get to with the man of the matches? I think we got Madison got 54%.
Madison's man of the match. 24. Madison's man of the match.
Udogie 14 and Porro 8%. Okay, interesting. 800.
We've got to give another shout out to Yves Bissouma. Absolutely top draw footballer.
Really?
Top draw.
I didn't think he was that great today. Listen, I'm not taking away from him.
Things he did on the ball. It's the things he did off the ball. How calm when he does get the ball, he spins players. He's like suddenly he's got 3
I
players.
He was excellent in moments, but I thought he didn't have anywhere near as commanding a performance as he did.
Of course, but you can't put that Man United performance in every week. But I think I think he's absolutely class. Whenever he has a chance, he just turns the game on its head, and people think they've got him in the corner, and he's out of it. I think he's going to be brilliant in the future. It's almost at that point where you've got to offer him a new contract because you think people are going to buy him next year. Someone's going to put big money. He's so good.
He's got 4 years on his contract, doesn't he? We ain't got no worries with that for the time being, I don't think. But look, absolutely sensational
performance as well. He's the truth.
I thought it was sensational performances from what you were talking about with a few of the players. I don't know. I just generally thought that Bissouma today had a bit of a quieter game. Kate, let me ask you, what was your take on it? I mean, I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm watching it in first time, real time, trying to also shepherd the commentary and the comments. There's loads of things that you miss when you're doing 3 things at once. So, you know, I could be wrong. Yeah. Let me know. Bissouma, was he as good as Benny's saying, or was he, you know, where was he? Where were you for you?
Well, for me, the first couple of games, Bissouma's just been unplayable and outstanding, and he was a level down to that. Maddison was here today, and Bissouma was just under him. Like, I would give Maddison an 8 or a 9, and I'd give Bissouma a 7 today. I thought he was decent. He toyed around with some Bournemouth players in the first half, but I thought he was a little bit more careless than normal. And I thought once he picked up his yellow card, he seemed a little bit nervy because he is prone. He used to be prone to bookings at Brighton, and I just felt that once he got his yellow card, his game changed a little bit, and he looked a bit nervy. So he was excellent, but he wasn't as good as the first 2 games. I don't want to say he wasn't good because he was brilliant, but he set the.
It's not possible to put in those performances every week. Some games,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I still think it was a good 7 out of 10. But because last week, the week before, he was an 8 or a 9, was a slight drop off.
I know. By the way, I'm not sitting here just to be. I'm sure I'll be clipped by someone on some channel somewhere that will tell everyone that suddenly Sean thinks Bissouma's bang average. Not what I'm saying. I just think that he was.
Sorry, I wasn't ready, Sean. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
I just think that he didn't quite. I thought the best midfielder on the park today. I was expecting Tottenham to absolutely boss the midfield. I thought they were going to absolutely destroy it, but they didn't. If I'm honest, in the start of the second half and the tail end of the first half, that sort of from the 30th minute until probably the 60th, they absolutely smashed us in the midfield. They absolutely smashed us.
Yeah, it was that big guy they had in the middle. Semeno?
The guy with the dreadlocks.
Yeah,
he came in. He's supposed to be a left winger. He comes in narrow and absolutely monsters it. Really, really tactical ingenuity from Rayora, and we struggled to adapt. So I just think it's fair, right? If you're gonna wax Bissouma lyrical for last weekend, we should also, you know, critique as based as we can. Richard, I want to bring you in, mate. Welcome, mate. You've been very patient. Listen, we're talking about Bissouma right now, but if you've got someone else on your mind that you'd like to get off, you know, you'd like to specifically talk about, one good or bad, let me know where you want to go with it, buddy. But also let us know your thoughts on the game overall.
Maybe get to that in a second. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Say something again.
I'm just checking that my mic is okay.
Yeah, you're good, Richard. Yeah.
Excellent. So I just wanted to bring some hair to this group because it's looking a bit thin on the ground, right?
Wow.
A little bit long.
Yeah, we're okay. We all got
it. They do this a little bit now. Now, I don't know how many likes are on here, but come on, boys, let's have a like party!
Yeah, smash the likes, guys. Smash the likes. We haven't got enough likes for sure. There's never enough likes.
Such a happy clapper.
Like what this man says. I'm pointing in.
Yeah.
Just do it. The game I thought was fantastic. I was disappointed in the first half. I think we're starting slow again. Lots of missed passes. I don't like missed passes. If you're playing a passing game and you're passing out from the back, you've got to be accurate. I think that contributed to Vicario hitting it long in the second half because a lot of the time we were losing the ball in our third and not really getting that far. But yeah, once we get that sorted out, I don't think there's going to be many teams that are going to get the ball off us very easily. I was a little bit disappointed with Sarr today. I thought it was a bit rash. He was still pretty good, but he was very rash off the ball and lost a few passes.
I agree. Yeah, I didn't think Sarr was spectacular. In the moment, his through ball was brilliant, but in the wider general picture, I didn't think he was absolutely extraordinary either. Yeah, I agree. Carry on.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that he got subbed off in the first round of subs, and I loved the fact that we bought Richarlison. I was hyped about it. I thought, great, he's fantastic on the ball. He's got really great technical ability. I know he doesn't score a lot, but he's got the potential for wonder goals, as we saw it both at Watford and Everton. But yeah, I think it's time to. I know it's early, but I think it's time to get him out and get a pure goal scorer in. You can't be playing a player like that up front.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team, including Sonny, don't care what anyone says, he worked his socks off. It was fantastic. And I've got to give a little extra for Pedro Porro. I think this kid has taken to his new role with aplomb. He's not really put a foot wrong, and he's working his little socks off.
Yeah.
Of course, man of the match is Maddison, but he's going to be a cut above the rest, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Although they weren't spectacular, as a three in midfield, those three are amazing together. Those three bounce off each other so well, and I'm a massive fan of Sarr. That through ball he did for Maddison's goal, that's an extraordinary pass. Amazing run for Maddison to run early and get in that. As an absolute brilliant chemistry. And to think these players have only been playing together as a three for not even 3 months, and they've got chemistry like that for early runs. It's great to see. And we got to make a shout out for a particular person. So Ellie, you better clip this. Højbjerg was excellent today. When Højbjerg came on today, when Højbjerg came on, I'm someone that's very critical of Højbjerg for his technical ability and being a bit of a fake Viking. Today he came on, he calmed everything down. He was going into tackles. I thought he was absolutely brilliant when he came on, and he was the right player for the right time. So, firstly, a massive big up to Ange for making amazing sub. That is an amazing substitution. Comes off, turns the game on its head, sorts the game out. I think we finally got a manager that understands how to substitute. It's absolutely brilliant.
And also play to the game, because Gabriel made a good point in the chat there. Sorry, Richard. I just want to say this quick. Said to factor in the weather conditions. I don't know what you guys saw, but over here on the TV, you can see that it was just pouring down. Rain, miserable, slow conditions on the pitch. That slows everything down, right, with the ball movement and everything. So then, Ange brings on the slower players that are suited to play the slower game and shut everything down. So, great decision from a guy that's not considered a world-class manager.
Well, listen, are we now? I don't know. Look, let's move the conversation forward a little bit. Right, I want to show you guys our next fixtures. Right, dare to dream stuff here.
Fulham, Sheffield. Yeah.
Right, we got Fulham in the cup, but let me get it up. I'm not going to say that again. I've said that 15 times today. Here we go.
That's why we need Fulham to win today, Sean. Put everything into this game and empty their tanks to play us.
We've got. So
do you know how Fulham can become a better team? Signing Eric Dyer.
and getting rid of Tosin.
Yeah. I think if they sign Eric Dyer, they've got a hell of a player on their hands. I think they'll be in contention for the title.
Easily.
Buy Eric Dyer.
Are we in contention, guys? Put aside the Fulham game, right? Cup game, anything can happen. You never know. Right, forget about the Fulham. We'll deal with Fulham on Monday and Tuesday. Oh, it's Tuesday night. We'll deal with Fulham tomorrow and Monday on this channel. But Burnley and Sheffield United. Look, I think the game after that is going to be a tough one, and that might bring us back down to and who knows what will happen, right? Who knows? It'll be amazing. But if we can go to Burnley and Sheffield United, do you believe that we have at this stage the potential? I want the comments section to light up with their answers in this one as well. I want you guys all to do. I am doing it again, Rain. I'm doing it again. I'm getting well ahead of myself, mate. I'm going to get well ahead of myself here. Are we potentially going to have 13 points from 15? And I'll start with you on this one. I'm going to go literally down the houses. Here we go. Straight down. Adrian to Bobby to Kate to Martin to Ben to Rich. Just straight down. Not long arguments, just like sort of 10, 15 seconds to get everyone's take on it. what are we doing here? Are we creating something that could be like a ridiculously strong start, or are we getting ahead of ourselves, Adrian?
A little bit. I mean, I'm always optimistic while it's mathematically possible. You know, we can finish in the highest position we possibly can. But my concern is the forward line at the moment. It needs to fire, whether that means dropping Richarlison or even Kulu, I'm a big fan of, or whatever. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, the confidence factor is affected by the fact that today, if Udogi's injured, all of a sudden we're worried. Who's gonna do a similar job as Udogi? You know, if Basuma's injured, who's going to do a similar job as Basuma? It's a bit like, you know, we're held together by string and paper at the moment, but a few more wins will change that. With other players coming and show their worth, then it will change. But at the moment, I'm just cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, that's a really good point. What do we? It's not just Udogi, is it? It's like it's the same question everywhere.
Well,
you lose
VDV, you lose Romero.
You lose Romero, you lose VDV, you lose Basuma, you lose basically anybody of the front six, and then go on, Kate. Sorry, mate.
I was just going to say, Ange Postecoglou's just released a statement on Udogi, and he says, I think he just kicked the ground, from what I understand. He didn't want to come off, but at that stage, the way the rules are, they go off for 30 seconds, and I thought it was better to put Ben on and keep the tempo up in the game for us. So it sounds like it was precautionary.
So it had nothing to do with his head or his eyes or anything like that?
No.
He went down like a sack of spuds, though. That was a weird one. It looked very weird.
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
Bobby, I'll continue the snake as we were going around it anyway. 13 from 17, 13 from 15. Is it possible? Did you expect it, or do you agree with Adrian? Let's keep our feet on the ground here, because one injury here or there, and we are suddenly looking basic again.
Keep your feet on the ground, but your head in the clouds, man. I'm so deluded and optimistic. I think we could still go 15 for 15.
You spend too much time with Hoover. The treble is on, mate.
The treble is on, baby. The treble is on. You know what? I don't see why not. Why not be optimistic? What's the alternative, Sean? No, this could happen. That could. Yeah, well, a plane could land on the stadium tomorrow and wipe it all out. Who knows what's going to happen? So let's just be like Adrian said, cautiously optimistic, but remain optimistic. That being the key word. I think we got a lot of things to look forward to. I personally was very skeptical going into this season, especially when we dumped Kane so late in the transfer window. I think it was a good deal, and I think it was the right decision to make. I'm not going to deny that, but I just thought because it was so late, we're gonna struggle the way things are. But I think Ange, like he said in his pressers beforehand, he knew it was going to happen, so he'd already geared the team up to work without him, and it's so far it's working. So when we're being critical of players and saying this person could do this person could do that, it's because we know they can do better. So once we see the players that we're faulting right now for the little mistakes they're making, once they start clicking as well and things get better, you're damn right, 13 for 15 and 37 for 39 coming up, Sean.
Love it, mate. Love it. Kate.
I'm optimistic, and I'm not even cautious. I just think we will get 13 from 15. I don't see either of them teams causing us a problem.
That's optimistic. Then let's get your clip camera out ready, Bobby K. Are we going to not only beat Burnley and Sheffield United, and then are we then going to go and do bits at the Emirates?
I think we'll get a draw at the Emirates. I really do. I don't think Arsenal look anything. Go on, clip me. I don't.
No, I'm clipping myself. I didn't have time to get the camera ready for you.
I
didn't want to keep stopping the show. Son already messaged me and said, "Cut that shit out."
Yeah.
I don't think Arsenal have looked like they did last season as yet. Whether they're kicking, I don't know. But I'm confident we can go there and get a draw and possibly a win. But I do see us winning the next 3 games, including the cup game. Come on!
Love it.
Yeah, Martin, we're getting 3 points there, Sean. Sorry to answer your question.
Martin, mate, are you someone who's a little bit more? I don't know. Do you see any kind of where's the hiccup? Let's Let me rephrase it rather than asking the same question 6 times. Let me rephrase it. Where is the hurdle? Where is the rocky path ahead? What's gonna destabilize this current trend of of optimism and momentum and everything going well, what is going to be the thing that just puts that fork in the road and we've got to handle it in a different way?
The first test is at the Emirates, unfortunately. I think during pre-season we had all this 70% possession, 70 shots. I think Ange's looking at the team as more cohesive and rather than this gung-ho thing. And I think that's going to take time to resonate with all the players. So hopefully we get 2 wins in the next 2 games. That's where I keep my optimism. And then the real test is when we go down the road. So that I'll have be biting my nails for. But hopefully it stays the way it is and we can come out with that more buzzing than we was last week. So, but yeah, as Bobby said, feet on the ground, head in the clouds at the minute.
Love it. Love it. Ben, let me rephrase the question another time to a different direction. Ben, is there any chance that Daniel Levy is going to be looking at this run of form and then saying, we're good, we don't need any more players in?
Oh, yeah.
Is that an issue?
You know it, Shawnee. You know it. What he
So
said.
is that a problem then? Is there a chance now that our early form is going to somehow, make us not go up, not fight tooth and nail to get some of these depth issues resolved? Because I think Adrian is spot on. An injury to Bissouma, an injury to Udogie, an injury to Van der Ven, Romero, Maddison.
Think about injuries.
Any player.
January's coming. We lose Sonny. We lose Udogie. No, Udogie's Italian. He plays for Italy.
Bissouma will start.
Bissouma, sorry.
I don't think Udogie's declared for a nation yet, has he? He's not declared for a national team, so he could still actually declare for Nigeria.
Italy. Udogie plays for Italy.
But has he played for the senior team?
Yes.
If he's played for the senior team, then fine. So Bissouma. Then we have Sartori. And then we have Sonny going to the Asia Cup. We need reinforcements. We need to sign a few players. We have to sign a few players. We can't rest on our laurels. We cannot rest on our laurels. We need one more centre back. That's if already, because our backup. If we lose Van der Ven, we're done for. We are absolutely done for. We need to sign a Gif Orban. I don't think Richarlison suits his system. I don't think he suits his system. He's not. And people are calling me a pace merchant, but you do need pace for a pressing system. You need pace to press people. You need to be able to get in behind defences. And we need someone that can put a ball in the back of the net. We need someone that can do that. But let's hope. I'm loving what we're seeing at the moment. I think Daniel Levy's probably loving what he's saying at the moment. But there are a few issues that we need to work on. And I would buy another goalkeeper as well. I don't think Forster's good enough to be the backup keeper anymore. I don't think Lloris is ever going to play again. We need another keeper.
Yeah.
Few issues.
Love it. Yeah, look, Rich, to round off the topic, mate, if there's anything that hasn't been spoken about, get something like find an angle here. I'm basically asking you what's going on. Are we going to maintain this momentum? Can we get to 13 out of 15? Can we somehow get to 16 out of 18? If so, what's it going to take? And what do we need the club to do? And what do we need to avoid? Is it injuries that's the biggest risk? Is it lack of signings? Is it depth? Is it things that are happening external to the club? Look, we've got a good start, but how do we keep it going as long as we can?
Well, I mean, obviously we're going to have 2 wins. Away at Burnley is always tough, but away at Burnley is generally only tough when you're playing them on a dark, cold Tuesday night in the middle of winter. It's September. I think it's going to be nice and hot. So I have no problem with Burnley at this stage. Away at Burnley early is really good for me. Sheffield United at home, I don't see them standing a chance. I don't see any players in that team that will pose us any problems. Look, injuries are always a problem to any team. Even if you're Man City could have 5, like you talked about, 5 players that if we get injured, we've got a problem. Any team can have that. And it's up to that physio team, the doctor team, to make sure that they don't. Of course, anything can happen. We've seen that with Harry Kane. But I don't see any problems in the next 2 games. We've played 3 games, scored 2 goals in all 3 games. We've only conceded 2, and that was in the first game when a lot of players were playing for the first time together. The more they go, the more they gel, the better it will get. Yeah, we need to get rid of a few people. I do agree we need a striker, probably a defensive midfielder, and definitely a centre-back. We need to get rid of people like Dyer and Sanchez. Tanganga looks like he's going, probably Reguilon on the go as well. But, you know, we're also playing with Daniel Levy, who wants to get the best. And I don't blame him for it, but he wants to get the best money out of the players that he's selling rather than just let them go. I mean, you look at Ndombele. Nobody wants Ndombele in this team. He wouldn't even get into our under-21 team at the moment.
Oh,
But
I had hope for him, Richard. Oh, I feel so gutted.
Yeah, if he had the application, he probably would have been one of the best midfielders in the world. But he doesn't, and he doesn't look like he wants to ever do it in his life. So retire if you're not going to play, if you don't want to do that. But we've got to try and get him out somewhere. The rest of them we've got to try and get out somewhere, and then you can look to bring in those players.
But at what loss, Richard, at this point? Because I think we'd have to do like a bargain basement kind of clear out to get rid of him.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm playing Football Manager and I'm in this position, I'm getting rid of them for whatever I can get rid of them. If I have to pay X amount on their wages for part of their contract when they go to another team, do you know what? It's better than paying all of their wages and them sitting there not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's a busy period. For me, I just think that there's more to it. I've said it a few times. I think Adrian and I were talking about it last night as well. I think there's just a lot more to the inability to shift players than just Daniel Levy wanting his pound of flesh or the blood from the stone kind of thing. I think it's just a consequence of the market is difficult. And also we've arranged deals for 3 or 4 of these players and the players turn them down. You can't force players to sign contracts they don't want to force or they don't want to sign, and it's a nightmare. I think that hopefully this week is going to be a monster week for us. We've got so much to do. Talking about one player that we have got rid of, Mick Dundee with the Super Chat. Big up, Mick. Really appreciate it. Joe Rodon has scored an own goal after 7 minutes on his debut for Leeds.
Yeah.
Is that his first Leeds goal?
Signed Joe
Rodon.
Rodon instead of Milan Skriniar, by the way. We signed Joe Rodon instead of Milan Skriniar.
I know. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. Big up, Mick. I really appreciate it. That's made me laugh, mate. Appreciate the Super Chat. I didn't know, yeah, and that's in the Championship as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Sava's in the house. Big up, Sava. Big up, Flip Flop King.
Yeah.
Great win, great performance. Love Big Ange. Madison is a superstar. Big up to you, Sav. Yeah, mate. I'll see you tonight. Listen, I thought the performance was. I don't know if I call it great.
Well, when you're on with him later, ask him about all that love he was shouting out to Kulu. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen him. I don't know what his takes were like on the show, on the stream.
All
But for
kinds,
me,
mad. It was sickening, Sean. It was it
was
was weird. His wife must have been uncomfortable.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that because I know how Sava feels about Decky. And this on today's performance, I kind of agree. I thought Decky was bang average and was a little bit exposed, if I'm honest. So, but I'm glad he got the goal. He got the goal. He's the first run free to get it. Listen, guys, we've been going for over an hour. There's thunder and lightning here, and it's kicking off in the skies above me. And when that happens, I know what's going to happen. That means the internet is about to collapse. So I'm going to get ahead of it, and I'm going to say this is an awesome early like an amuse-bouche of the roundup, the review of these of these players. I'm going to be back at some point, either today, tonight, or tomorrow. I'd love all you guys on the panel to come back on if you want. I'm going to stick the thing out. We'll go through the game in more detail. I just want to go back and watch the game again so that I feel confident about my opinions, because when you're doing 4 things at once, a lot slips by. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round it off. I'm going to give everyone a chance who wants to plug their channel or their Twitter. And then I'm going to say thank you to everyone. And then we're going to end off. Bobby K, I'll start with you, mate. What's crack-lacking on the 3 Spurs boys?
Pretty good. We've got every other Saturday night, myself and Kuva host the Kuva and the Kang show, where we just have a light laugh and a little bit of football chat, and mostly just a good time on a Saturday night. But the boys are back. The kids are starting to do their weekly wrap-up show, so they will be back on Tuesday evenings. Just the kids will be on, so a little fun show for them. So yeah, get on over, show them some love. More important that you give the kids the love than me. 3 Spurs Boys is the channel name. The number 3 Spurs and Spurs Boys. I'm over Wednesdays with Benny over there on the coffee company. We got our Brewing Bollock show midweek, just a little bit of a giggle and laugh and all. be on with Kate this evening. We're doing a movie review show, correct, Kate?
We are indeed.
Yeah. So thanks for having me on, Sean. Always good to see you. And good to see all of you guys. Martin, Richard, nice to meet you guys. Well, Richard, I've seen you before. But it's been a while, man.
I'm everywhere.
Ben, Kate, always a pleasure, man.
Love you, mate. Get over the 3 Spurs boys and yeah, show some love to that channel. It's a wonderful channel. Kate, thanks for coming on once again. Just a girl who loves Spurs. What's happening? I haven't got the links. Bob, Ben, have you got the links you can throw up?
Yeah, Ben's been putting them in.
He's already putting them in, man.
Yeah.
Okay, good,
man. The mod god, man. The mod father's done it again.
Kate, what's happening on?
Sean, before I say what's up with Bugsy's ear.
Oh, she gets like grass seeds or things down her, like something. Manuals have got really deep water, like ear canals, and she's running around trying to chase balls, and then the people around here don't cut the grass enough, and so grass seeds get in and they just drive her insane. It costs a fortune to go and see the vet every week to take them out. It's killing me.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Anyway, buy her some earmuffs for the walk.
Yeah, earmuffs are good.
I've tried. She doesn't like them. No. I'm trying to put these on her head. DJ Bugsy doesn't seem to work.
Right. Yeah, you can get me here. I'm climbing to 500. I'm 430 something. I'm on tonight with Bobby K, Kuva, Haz, and Ben for a movie madness show, but I'm normally on doing the footy every day 1 till 2. But at the minute, my mum's in hospital, I'm moving house, everything's a bit up in the air. But most lunchtimes you'll catch me between 1 and 2, and on fan shows and stuff. And anywhere I get invited, I'll go. I'm easy.
Big up, Kate. I hope your mum gets better soon, mate, and good luck with the house move. Martin, mate, just a fan, mate. I just want to say massive thank you for coming on, buddy. You're always welcome.
Thanks, mate.
Awesome.
Been a pleasure.
Yeah, come again, my man. Same with you, Richard, mate. Richard, have you got a channel? You're just a fan as well, aren't you? Just a fan with an opinion?
I've not really got a channel. The only thing I'll plug is I'm a commentator for a wrestling company in Milton Keynes called Apex Pro Wrestling. So if anybody's around Milton Keynes, then we've got a show coming down. I'm also going to Wembley tomorrow to watch All In.
Where are you sitting?
It's like row 549, so I'm pretty much in the cheap seats at the back.
That's a shame.
But if anyone sees me around Wembley tomorrow, come and say hi. And yeah, if anybody wants me on a show, I'm quite happy to jump on any kind of show, any kind of time. I'm in Sean's WhatsApp group, so it's easy to get me there.
Lucky you.
Massive thank you. No, well, don't be like that. Don't be like that. You know,
it's okay, Kate. I was kicked out. Kate, don't feel bad. I was kicked out of it a long time ago.
Don't worry, Kate. I'm a little bit of a celebrity anyway. I'm on TV and stuff, so you know. Obviously.
I mean, it's actually
so he doesn't need Sean.
It's actually a different. Anyway, last but by no means least, Benny boy, thanks for coming on. Mate. I met the mod, Captain Mod. Where can people find you, mate? Thanks again for all your support in the modding section of the team.
Absolutely. So yeah, you can find us mostly on the Coffee Company daily chill streams with myself drinking lovely cups of coffee, talking about absolute rubbish, and we somehow tried to do a football show on Friday, and but other people don't actually want to talk about football. Bobby, Kate. So yeah, we're trying to do.
I made an honest attempt though.
You did, and then you gave up. But yeah. Find us on there, and you can for actual football opinions. You can find us on Tottenham on Tour with Mr. Daigle, Mr. Isaacs, Mr. Ireland, Mr. Kiriakou, the flip flop, and all the other boys on there. Amir, and we talk Tottenham and we scream a lot, and it's great. But most of the time, find us on the Coffee Company. We've just hit 500 subs, so thank you to everyone for getting us to 500 subs. So we're on the crawl to 600, and hopefully we can get there soon. But thanks for having me on again, Shawnee.
Cheers, boys and girls. Love you all. Everyone in the comments want to say a massive thank you for you spending the whole day together so fast from 11 o'clock this morning. And I want to say a big shout out to Phil Coys. Did I call this one out? I'm not even sure I called it out, Phil. If I didn't, I'm so sorry, mate. Always had faith in Romero. Just needed a competent centre-back in Van der Ven. Such a big difference in his performances. Complete team performance. Come on, you Spurs and you Army. Mate, Phil, I'm so sorry, bro. I do apologise. You're a legend. You know you are. And we all agree with that as well. Van der Ven is the real deal, and Romero is going to go from strength to strength. good times ahead. Shout out to Nate Piet. Buddy, I really appreciate all the things you do in the emails regarding the fantasy league stuff. I will be bringing that out on my show tomorrow as well. To Mick Dundee and to, of course, to Saba. Guys, we're going to leave it there. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's been a part of the show today. Big shout out to Aaron as well for spending the afternoon with me doing the watch along. Come on, you Spurs, top of the league.
Come on, Spurs.
We are doing it again.